This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
Good morning and welcome to this morning's newscast on Kaieteur Radio. Kevin Smith here. These are the top stories we are tracking. Guyana's laws do not allow oil regulator to act independently and do not compel adherence to industry norms, says the IDB. And 2 months later, Jagdeo yet to honor promise to release all oil permits. And Christopher Ram resigns from NISL board. Meanwhile, Agricola residents concerned over proposed chemical warehouse. EPA says no impact assessment required. Stay tuned to stay informed.
Reset, renew, and refresh with Harris Paints. Shop now and get 10% off select Ultima Plus paints. When you spend over $10,000, tip to win accessories and your share of $325,000 in cash. You can also win the grand prizes of 2-bedroom makeovers with free color consultation and a vanity, or a living room makeover with free color consultation and a 40-inch smart TV. Reset, renew, and refresh with Harris Paints.
To change your world, Christmas with Harris.
Kaieteur Radio, keeping you informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Burby's 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
And now for the news in detail. The Inter-American Development Bank has once again pointed to glaring loopholes in Guyana's legislative framework, which essentially weakens the veil of protection that is needed for the oil sector. Now, according to the bank, the Petroleum Exploration and Production Act and the Petroleum Commission Bill, in their current state, do not contain any clauses that guarantee the independence of any regulator that is appointed for the sector, nor does it ensure adherence to industry norms. The financial institution said that a new Petroleum Commission Bill is needed to address these gaps that avoid or reduce control over technical and procedural aspects of the regulator. Meanwhile, Vice President Dr. Bharat Jagdeo said on October 2nd that the government would release all the permits granted to oil companies for their development operations. But more than 2 months later, the production licenses remain elusive. At the time of making this comment, the Vice President had been touting the Payara production license as superior to the ones handed out by the David Granger administration for the Liza Phases 1 and 2 developments. Not only did the former government keep the permits hidden, but it also refused to conduct sufficient due diligence checks on the integrity of Exxon's developments. And now let's tell you, Chartered Accountant and Transparency Advocate Christopher Ram has resigned from serving as a director on the board of NISL. Ram is not divulging details regarding what prompted his resignation, but confirmed that he had resigned. Ram would be the second to resign from the NISL board since the PPPC took office in August. In fact, we had reported on October 17th that another accountant, Nigel Hines, had resigned from the NISL board with immediate effect over what he claimed to be the continued inhumane treatment being meted out to the squatters at Success, East Coast Demerara. In other news, residents living around the environment of Agricola, East Bank, Demerara are objecting to the planned construction of a chemical oil services facility after it was discovered that the project requires no environmental impact assessment be conducted prior. The EPA announced that Falcon Logistics Inc. plans to construct a chemical oil services facility for storage, handling, and transportation at Area MM Rome Industrial Area. An assessment is usually conducted by the EPA to evaluate the likely environmental impacts of a proposed project or development, taking into account interrelated socio-economic, cultural, and human health impacts, both beneficial and adverse. And moving on, the community of Good Bananen, East Kanji Berbice, is in shock after news broke that a 25-year-old mother confessed to beating her 6-year-old daughter unconscious and then reporting her missing. The mother, Drupati Balkaran, claimed that Sunday she had yelled at the child to stop playing in some bushes when they were on a walk. But after she did not heed to her demands, she grabbed a piece of wood and dealt her several lashes about her body. The woman added that she beat her daughter until she became unconscious and then left her under a mango tree. The child is currently admitted at the Georgetown Public Hospital. Her condition is listed as stable. In other news, one of the cops who was previously on remand for the murder of an unarmed civilian, 39-year-old Cecil Sampat, was officially slapped with a manslaughter charge yesterday. Sampat, along with 3 other individuals, were in a car which came under rapid gunfire from patrol ranks on July 25th along Mandela Avenue in Georgetown. Sampat and the driver of the car, Winston Fraser, received multiple gunshot wounds. The driver survived but has been left paralyzed. Sampat, however, had died on August 5th while being treated at the Georgetown Public Hospital. Let's tell you now that a 60-year-old is dead following an accident on the Cumberland Public Road, East Kanji, yesterday around noon. Dead is Clifton Suku of Cumberland, East Kanji. Another motorcyclist is currently hospitalized with serious injuries. According to the police, Suku was proceeding south along the eastern drive lane on his motorcycle, while the motorcycle that was being handled by a 35-year-old was proceeding in the same direction. The second motorcycle was behind Suku and moving at a fast rate. It is understood that Suku stopped at the center of the road and was about to turn east when the front of the other motorcycle collided with his. And now let's tell you, a salesman is now in critical condition after he was struck down by a speeding driver who was driving under the influence of alcohol. It so happens that the minibus forms part of a fleet of vehicles owned by the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security. The incident occurred on Monday evening at Plantain Walk, Public Road, West Bank, Demerara. The injured man has been identified as 57-year-old Basil Prasad of Middle Street, Podrine. According to a police report, the accident occurred at around 20 hours 20 on Monday. And that's the news of the moment. Remember, to get the full details of these stories, pick up a copy of the Kaieteur News. And don't forget, you can catch us on the MyTuner app as well as the Radio Garden app.